Hello. So, for my new or significant event or patient interaction that I had this week, involved a 7-year-old little boy, first grader. His mom brought him in. She's been having a battle with the school about wanting to get him more services, feeling like he doesn't have enough accommodations in his class. She's been having a lot of issues with him at home, just as far as feeling like there's not like a lot of follow through and making statements like he'll say like, what are we having for breakfast at dinner time? And the reason that it was significant to me is that the mom alluded to some issues. There was a divorce that took place. He has a twin sister and then a 5-year-old brother. Every other weekend when he comes home, he just has a breakdown. He wants to go back to dad. And mom says that she's extremely rigid, self-professes that she has expectations for him that he's supposed to fall in line with. Yet at the same time, she says that he's always on his video games and that he doesn't have trouble staying on his video games for extended periods of time. However, one of the biggest things that she talked about was feeling like he needed accommodations in school because he could read anything that she gave him, but he just failed to comprehend. And she just kept pushing that. And the provider kind of went along with it, but my first red flag was just like, okay, he's in first grade. You don't even really pick up reading comprehension or begin to comprehend until second grade. That's really when comprehension begins to set in. The skills, the phonetical approach to reading, it's just learned in first grade. So I really didn't understand her emphasis on that. And then just the interaction between the mother and the child just seemed like he was just very unsure. There wasn't necessarily a closeness between them. And this is just a 1-hour interaction, although she did go over time. But mom seemed very, she had all the answers. She was very rehearsed, if you will. And so for me, I felt like that it could have been that there was much more of a parenting issue than there was so much of a behavior issue with the child. And not saying that there isn't a behavior issue, but maybe that's a result of the parenting issue, which is a reason that I'm not super comfortable being in psych, because I do think that this child is going to have long-term issues. But I think that the problem may be more stemming from the issue that he has with his mother, and just the fact that the school has repeatedly told her over and over again he doesn't have issues. There's not anything else we can do for him, just kind of further supports what I felt like I didn't really express my opinion to my preceptor because I think she was kind of going along with what the mother said. It was just my take on it, just observing the interaction between the mother and the child, and just her complaint was mainly this reading comprehension, and just how much time he's spending on video games. But she's also explaining about how she has this rigid schedule, so a lot of things that she was saying didn't really line up. She said he'd been put on Ritalin before, but it was just a nightmare when he had done it. But then later, when asked about how he did with tablets, she said, oh, well, I don't know, because the only time he was on it, he was with his dad. So if her experience was a nightmare when he was on the stimulant previously, but he was with his dad when he did it, how could she have observed that? So I just felt like maybe there was some malingering that went on, and that's what makes these situations so hard. So that was a new significant experience for me. My take on it would just be, I feel like maybe there needed to be some family therapy. But honestly, I think it's just a sad situation, and until mom's able to see that these issues might be somewhat of hers, I don't know that much can be done, and I'm not sure that she's even at the beginning of the cusp of realizing that.